To start this hairstyle, I am just working with my natural texture, just a little bit air dried, and then I'm going to be taking a parting from the very top of my crown to the back of my neck. Now I'm going to be leaving out about a little bit more than an inch section on the very side of that, so behind my ear down to my neck, because we're going to turn this into a braid. So basically what I'm going to do is a French braid by taking my side pieces and crossing them over to the top and then adding to both of the sides, and then just working my way all the way down until I can't braid any longer, and then I'm just going to finish it up with a 3-strand braid. So basically I'm going to be making a piggy tail French braid. Once you finish that, just secure it with an elastic hair tie, preferably the really small little ones. And then I'm going to move on and do the same exact procedure to the other side. It's going to leave like a mohawk strand right down the middle because we're going to turn that into a braid later. So just clip that out of your way and then move to the side and do another braid, kind of keeping your hands about the same height that you did your last one. And then when you have finished that, just secure that with a hair elastic like so. And then in the very back, you're going to want to hold this about medium height, so not too high up on your head, but not very low, and just make a regular 3-strand braid, taking this all the way down and then securing it with a hair elastic as well. Now that we have all of our braids done, we're going to work on fattening them up. So just tugging on both sides of your strands and making sure that you kind of spread them out a little bit, because we want our updo in the back and on the side to kind of be a little bit more emphasized. We want bigger, fatter braids. So as you see me here doing, just kind of pulling at those strands and then making them expand. Once you've done that, I'm going to take that very middle braid in the back and I'm kind of going to tie it in a very big loose knot, but not all of the way, because we want it to be soft and kind of a little bit flat against our head. Then spread it out, and once you have done that, I'm going to start pinning. Now the reason why I say spread it out is because you don't want it to be like a little tiny circle in the middle. You kind of want it to be like a sideways oval, so it's smashed down a little bit like so. Once you've done that, go through and just kind of tug at a few pieces if you want it to be a bit more messier. And like I said, I'm expanding my braids. I'm just going to go in and expand this a little bit more. That way just that texture pops out. Then I'm going to take my side braid and I'm going to pull those very top strands out and kind of pancake them out. That way they're a little bit bigger on top. And then I'm going to take this braid and place it right on the very top of my bun, like so, and then I'm going to pin those ends up and under and make sure that all of that is nice and secure so it doesn't go anywhere. Then we're going to do the same thing to the opposite side, but I'm actually going to focus more towards the bottom of the end of my braid and pull out those bottom strands, because this one is going to go underneath our bun. So just kind of tug on those bottom strands, and then I'm going to set this right up next to my braid a little bit higher, or next to my bun a little bit higher, and I'm going to pin that into place. That way when I go to loop it around the bottom of the bun, it doesn't sag and create kind of an ununiform look. So I'm just going to pin that into place and then take my braid and kind of caress it down the bottom and the underneath of my bun and tuck in my ends and then pin that secure. That way it stays nice and neat and stays balanced, because it's super important that when you're pinning your braids up that you kind of take a peek at the back and make sure that everything you're doing isn't lopsided or kind of funny. We don't want it to be perfect, but we don't want it to be a little too messy. So I'm just going to continue pinning until I feel it is secure. Then on the side of our braid, I'm going to lift up like you see me doing here. This is going to pick the braids up on the sides and just make them appear a little bit higher. So I'm going to hold that into place and then pin it in kind of an X right underneath my braid, making sure that I'm securing it to the hair underneath. That way it stays kind of sitting a little bit taller. And then once I do that, I'm going to kind of tug at those strands on the very side and just make them a little bit fatter and blown out on top. This gives it like a really cool side look. Whenever you look at the side, it's going to be a little bit higher and not kind of like a saggy braid. Repeat that step on the opposite side by picking up your braid ever so slightly and then pinning that into place using an X. Whenever you use an X, like X your bobby pins up, it is going to really stay nice and secure because it has something to hold on to. So once you have finished that, you are done with your style. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. It's super quick, no heat. Don't forget to check out my last tutorial on this really cool double Dutch braid, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!